This morning, Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin is breathing on his own, according to the team. Hamlin has been at a hospital in Cincinnati since collapsing on the field during Monday night's game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Doctors managed to remove the breathing tube overnight. And joining me now is Dr. Corey Hebert, LSU School of Medicine. Dr. Hebert, it's good to see you, and it's a different situation we're talking about this morning than it was a few days ago, huh?
Absolutely. I mean, what I want to do first is just be outwardly happy for the group to say, look, you're going to have your person back. I mean, we totally avoided a disaster that could have been much worse. But what I also want to say, there are two things that are making this situation so much better, right? The first one is that the team that got on that field immediately, they should get a huge accolade. And the reason why is because if you have commotio cordis, which we don't know for sure that he did have, but if he did sustain that, right, the survival for that drops to less than 3% when you have delayed resuscitation by 3 minutes. So the fact that they were on that field doing CPR that quickly with the AED that quickly means that they really saved his life. And I mean, we know that he had cardiac arrest. Whether he had commotio cordis, we're not really sure. And the second thing is that the person that is living their healthy life, a person that is working out, a person that is eating well, the person that's living at that level, you have a better chance of survival. And football players work out every day, and it should be a testament to all of us that we need to get in better health, because that is one of the other reasons why he survived.
I appreciate you bringing those stats to us. I mean, it's just staggering. And now we're hearing this morning he is able to breathe on his own. Just a few days after collapsing, they did remove his breathing tube. That is a good sign, right?
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at the mortality of someone being intubated, it's not very good. But if you think about this too, since 2001, right, we have decreased the mortality of cardiac arrest by about 10–15%. So what that really means is that the whole concept of people learning how to do CPR, that's a huge deal, and that's why everyone needs to know how to perform CPR. But the doctors that are taking care of him now, the fact that they were able to get him stabilized, remove the tube, it's just testament to the way that we have been able to really mobilize our science and make people have better outcomes. I mean, I worked in the ER for 10 years, and I can tell you, we have come a long way. But as citizens, we need to make sure we do better so that we get healthier, and we learn CPR so that we can actually prevent some of this serious morbidity and mortality.
Yeah, I appreciate that message. What does the recovery process likely look like for Hamlin now, especially as we are hearing that encouraging news? He is neurologically intact. Is rehab probably next for someone recovering?
Absolutely. If you have been through something like this and you have had some anoxic brain injury, even if it was a very small amount, but he's neurologically intact, we have to assume that he's going to have some type of rehab. Now, stranger things have happened. I say Mother Nature is a mad scientist and can do so many things that are out of our control. However, what I will say is that he should have some type of rehab, because not only physical rehab, but mental rehab. And I'm going to say that because when your life flashes before your eyes and he goes back and sees all the stuff that happened, that's scary, it's shocking, and sometimes it's hard to get back on that football field. So he should be able to have some mental rehab, but also some physical rehab once he gets up and is much more able to breathe on his own. He gets his strength back, because he wasn't down that long, which is just amazing. It's miraculous.
Absolutely. Are there any concerns that Hamlin would need to consider in the future? If this happened once, could it happen again? Is football still in the cards for him?
That is something that we will have to see. And the reason why I say that, as I mentioned earlier, psychologically, this is going to be something that he's going to have to get over. Just imagine if you get in a car accident and you just have a bad car accident and you don't have to be admitted to the hospital. It's kind of scary to get back in the car. But imagine if you were a race car driver, right? And you have to get in the car to make a living. So that's something he's going to have to deal with. But, the concept of him being able to get back on that field, the fact that he can walk, the fact that he can breathe, I think it's going to take some time for him to heal physically and mentally. And I don't think he should be pushed into having that pressure to get back on that field. But that's what gladiators do. Gladiators gladiate. and that's what he wants to do.
That's what
what
gladiators do. I love that. And he has this incredible spirit and soul as well. We actually just checked his GoFundMe at $7.8 million this morning, which is just wonderful. I know we'll be tracking the path ahead. One last 10-second question for you. With commotio cordis that you were talking about, if it is determined it was likely that, I'm sure they will be taking the closest look at his heart and his readings as possible. Is one person more likely to experience that than another, or is it really just this freak accident, this one touch that anyone could have?
It is a freak accident, and so you never know if that could happen to you if you have an impact to the left side of your chest. You never know. And I want to say one more thing real quick. What I want the NFL to do, let's look at those workers' compensation and rehab programs, and let's start vesting these young players early so they can get a pension, so that if this happens to someone else, like at the 2-year mark like him, he won't have to worry about providing for his family. Let's do that, NFL.
I appreciate you describing him as a gladiator. I think so many of us feeling that, so many of us still rooting him on. Dr. Corey Hebert, LSU School of Medicine, thank you as always.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.